Is his thing on?
Testicles.
Yeah, his monitor's on.
All right, yeah, you should be just plop the headphones on and you're good to go.
I can put beer on here. It seems sketchy.
Yeah, just don't spill it on the PC.
Okay, can I pour it on the PC though? We're live.
All right, cool. All right, yeah. Welcome to the Radio Loud podcast for Friday the 13th of April, 2018. Special guest, Jake Pyne. Yay, Jake Pyne. We don't have anything to play.
Yeah, the
you on
pine
with.
cone.
Dude.
We found out last week playing Steve-O on with I Am the Slime that YouTube will fucking zap you for copyright. So,
You don't get a playing track.
nope.
How you feel about that?
Well, you know, the world pisses on me again.
Can you say what?
You should let it roll first.
It is. We're going.
Can I say you daft cunt?
Yeah, you can say cunt.
Oh,
I think we're okay with that.
I've only met like
Cunt's like a good word.
I've only met one person who is genuinely offended by the word cunt.
Why?
And were they a cunt?
Like, go
Yes,
home.
absolutely, she was. She was like, I can't stand that word. And
I can't stand a lot of words.
Been used on you one too many times.
probably
hurts because you know it's true.
Right.
Hey, don't be afraid to get your mouth like right up on the
Just
thing.
fucking tongue that thing.
Okay, this is a little better. It's kind of like when she like hasn't trimmed in a little bit. You get a little brushy on the hairs on your lip. I'm still gonna eat.
Somebody introduced me
Gotta eat
to
lunch.
like a minute measurement in the press. Like when you just have to move something a little bit, just move it a cunt hair.
Oh, that is a thing.
Yeah.
It's a real fucking thing. I saw it on a ruler once.
You flip it over and it's like millimeters, tenths of inches,
And
you
cunt
flip it to
hairs.
cunt hair.
Maybe it was a fake ruler, but I mean, someone made it. It was real. I saw it.
Oh, it's like a gag, Spencer's or something.
I have no idea.
It's the blue collar gag gift store.
When I saw it, I started to believe that it was a true thing. So it might be.
But why should a cunt hair be offensive and not facial hair? It's the same shit.
Cause one's on your face all the time for presentation.
One's
the
on
other
your
one's-
pussy.
The other one's hidden away in your pants.
Yeah, I have no idea. Probably just the word cunt.
People
That's
get
the-
very defensive when the pants come off. Obviously, here we don't care. Jake has no pants.
Honestly, I feel like in America, cunt is like one of those hit or miss things where it's like either completely over the top, outrageously offensive, or just they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Where in like
I'd agree.
Australia, it's like every other word that comes out of their fucking mouth is cunt.
Yeah.
That's their primary.
Do they
cuss
use
word,
that
though.
in England a lot too, or am I getting confused?
Yeah, they do a bit.
Yeah, they do use it a
You
lot. in
daft
England, I think.
cunt, you.
Yeah, it gets
You
busted out.
fucking daffy.
All right, yeah. So we do have some like juicy news topics for this week. We got
You
a-
got a
Oh,
couple?
the guy in Germantown was taking pictures of chicks.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I don't even have any notes on that.
I did not hear about this. What happened?
Pervert alert! Pervert alert!
What
I
happened?
don't even know much
Is it
about
a-
it
is
either.
it Germantown Flasher?
Apparently, he has a track record of doing this. He has been arrested before. Once, I think it was in 2009, for
What is
like
this?
putting what he did in Germantown, the bathroom at fucking
Was it McDonald's?
McDonald's. Yeah,
Going on county line?
he put his fucking cell phone underneath the woman's stall and was like snapping pictures or like videos,
Like trying to get some
Which
piss
I don't
time?
understand to begin with. Why you'd even...
It must be some sort of compulsion.
It's
of
a
his.
compulsion or a fetish, but it's like what's like the percentage chance that you're gonna even catch a bob or
But
What
a
if
nip
just-
nop or
What if he just
what do
doesn't
you-
care?
You're not gonna get a boob. She's not gonna have her.
That's not probably not what he's going for.
Unless she's
obviously.
wearing like a what were those things everyone was wearing?
it's like that same like
The onesies or the
satisfaction that serial killers get almost from like murdering.
Yeah, right.
It's,
The
you could
satisfaction-
never understand it.
They
His
just
satisfaction
they just-
probably just comes from
doing
act
it, yeah.
and the thrill of the taboo.
They just have like these two wires in their brain that
They
are
didn't even
touching
see any
two places
poonan
differently.
No poonan or nothing. They just saw like
No,
some
just,
woman like blurry photo of a woman like.
Yeah, she was probably just like,
Right, it's a phone video, so it's all compressed and shit. It's all
Yeah.
pixelized. You can't even fucking
And
see
it's
anything
like
anyway.
and the audio is all compressed like.
So yeah, he has a fucking track record of doing this. Apparently, he was arrested for doing a similar thing at Mayfair Mall in the past.
Classy.
Yep.
At the Mayfair.
Oh
Give me
yeah,
some
I just
Rocky
typed in.
Rococo's.
All I did was type in Germantown,
I was
and
gonna
the
say, all
fucking
that-
first thing. Look at this guy's fucking face. Oh my
Oh, they got
God.
a photo. Hold on.
Edward Alexander. I mean, if your name's in
Can
the
you bring it
news
up on
and
the
you're
screen?
Yeah. Just make sure you don't have any audio playing on that.
Well, has he got a neck tattoo?
But here is what I really
Might have a
wanted.
problem here.
Here's what I really wanted to do. We nicknamed him Fast Eddie because we knew that he did this previously.
Whoa!
He
neck
got his-
tattoo. Neck tattoo.
He's got a scar running down the middle of his forehead that's been stitched up.
So straight up.
And this dude drove a straight up RV van too.
Yeah, there was some funny shit in
Wait,
here.
does he have a?
That's his van.
Does he have a knack? Tattooey.
Okay, there's a quote here. I recognized him right away, said Raul. Raul wasn't the only employee of
Holy fuck! He looks like.
Hart Auto on 76 and Villard up to watching the news. The second I saw the picture, I knew immediately who it was. Said,
That's the guy from the Superbad
Christine
movie, but like a.
Shit.
so the man was a recent customer, and
He looks like a. Oh man, what's that guy's name?
He's like his
the
like.
kicker is when they said, he is in that camper. I said, are you kidding? That was the icing on the cake.
He's in the camper.
The worker said
Which guy's the
46-year-old
creeper
Edward
molester?
Alexander.
He looks like Jonah Hill
brought-
without any curly hair, dude.
Yeah.
The workers say 46-year-old Edward Alexander brought a very recognizable vehicle from them in January, a 1989 Chevy Conquest RV. Police confirmed they are looking for Alexander in the RV. And this was the funniest fucking part. The workers
Look
say
up Jonah Hill's number. Fucking brothers.
the workers say as a returning customer they know Alexander well. We nicknamed him Fast Eddie because we knew that he did this previously.
Pulling a fast one. Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie pulling off in the RV again.
Oh Jesus.
Snatching
How
photos.
is he getting anywhere? This RV, even the pictures they took, the quality of them looks like it's from the 70s.
Oh, straight up. That looks like a fucking future Stephen Avery murder scene.
They found it on his 99-acre lot. Fucking murdered.
This is the
8
first I'm
people
hearing of
before.
it. I'll probably hear it on Monday. But
Chained up in a shipping container.
Yeah, I had just straight up seen this on Facebook.
oh yeah, I bet.
I heard it on the
For sure.
radio. I heard on the radio there's some dude taking pictures or something. And sure enough, it's Jonah Hill's fucking brother living in a goddamn trailer.
Sometimes they don't make it to the top.
Yeah.
The cream only rises to the top.
But by cream, we mean jizz.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ, though.
It's gonna be a raunchy one today.
That guy's fucking face.
He looked like Jonah Hill.
He looks like Jonah Hill, yeah.
yeah,
He-
with his hair shaved.
Doesn't he?
And then a huge scar down the middle.
Did you
of
see a
his
picture
forehead.
of him?
Looks like a discount Jonah Hill.
Discount
Yeah.
Jonah Hill, yeah. Plus the pedophile molester part, which probably Jonah Hill already. I mean, I don't know.
There's a lot of discount celebs out there.
Jonah Hill looked weird to me once he lost a bunch of weight.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
power
yeah.
to him for getting healthy.
Yeah,
though.
I know. Like, there was
But
that.
yeah, he's totally
But I
different.
think he did it for a
He's
movie role.
eating motherfucking celery stalks with peanut butter and raisins on them.
Oh, the ants on a
Ants
log.
on a log.
Kindergarten
Ants
treat.
on a log. Yep.
Fucking,
Oh, that shit's actually delicious.
thing is, though,
Yeah, it is
he got
good.
skinny, and then he got super fat again for that fucking gun running movie.
Oh, I saw that
I
in.
didn't see that.
I saw it in Key West. I was laid up in the hotel room.
Oh, really? It's just one of the only things on TV.
It came
When'd you go to
on, and I
Key
was
West?
like, fuck it.
When did you go to Key West?
Oh, like mid last month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had texted me. It's like, can we do a cover of this song? I was like, sure,
Yeah,
if
he's
it's
having
something that I like too.
Sure, if it's something I want to do, nothing, silence.
Well, that's the thing, man. Like, if
I'm
it's,
very selective about my music.
No
if I have
answer
to-
of the song I send.
yeah, because like I thought that was inherent in the answer, because it's like, okay, look at it from my perspective. I'm going to disproportionately be doing most of the work.
Well, I figured I'd do the guitar and the vocals.
I still have to like edit it though.
That's true. I
And,
just figured it'd be easy because it's a simple.
Fucking Dave
Hey man,
Mustaine though.
hey man, I have Ableton now. I'll edit it.
Can we do a song in the style of Dave Mustaine, not Dave Mustaine, but
Yeah.
just
Just
like,
call it mustard stain.
Mustard stain. Yeah. And I'll volunteer for that. I think I can pull that off.
It would be fun.
Do like an Evanescence song.
Wake me up inside.
oh man, both of those old dogs. I saw like a little 10-minute video on
It's got a target on my
not
back.
Kirk Whammett, but
Oh God,
Kirk Whammett.
Kirk Whammett is so fucking bad though.
You thinking about
Herc Hammett.
Zach? You thinking about Zach Wankett?
no, the
Zach Wankett?
spot about the Metallica guitar that was made out of there.
Oh, the one
Like
I
old
sent you with
garage.
the refurbished guitar.
You had mentioned it. You didn't send me.
So
it, but,
bad.
I sent you a
You had
picture.
you had
of it.
asked me about it.
It's like, did you see this? What do you think about it?
I thought the guitar was cool, and I saw like a little fucking like, I don't know, just like anything that Metallica does where they're talking about, yeah, we're going back to our roots.
And then we're gonna put out
We're
the
genuine garage artists. It's just like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Here's some new dad
Dush, 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 dush.
Lars
mean,
is offbeat as
yeah, I was
always.
gonna say. I mean, honestly, Lars does belong in a garage band.
Yeah,
I
he
can't
does.
hold time for shit.
I can't believe he was going to be like a pro tennis player before like Metallica took off.
He fucked up.
He should
Moved
have.
from Holland to become a fucking pro tennis player.
Was he from Holland?
I think, yeah, he was originally from
He
Holland.
should go back.
Can relive the dream though. He can pick up the dream.
He did like have James Hetfield. That's the name that was escaping me. He did have some stuff he said that I agreed with. He was talking about the person who built the guitar, and apparently they
What
were.
is this guitar? What am I missing?
I'll bring it up.
Yeah,
for you.
they took a bunch of wood from the garage that they used to play in,
Oh fuck me. Okay.
and they made like this guitar out of it. And it's like pretty cool.
it's
It has like
deep. It's like in our roots, man. It's
It
like
has,
part
like-
of where
Yeah,
we
that sounds
grew
just
up.
like Hetfield.
has a rusty nail in it and stuff. Like the aesthetic of the guitar body is really cool.
Oh,
Reminds
okay.
me of a Monson guitar. Did you
Is it-
look at those?
He said that
I
the
suppose I should
person
look at it
who
before I fart all over it.
the person who built the guitar, he like brushed out like all the splinters and shit, so it's like nice, but like you can still feel
I
like the
think I
grain
know
of the
what you
wood.
mean. Yeah.
But it has like rusty nails in it and shit. Like the guitar looks amazing. Like it's cool. But just like hearing James Hetfield talk about anything like that.
Yeah,
it's
it makes
just
you
like,
want to just shit out of your mouth.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah, it's about that. Or no, that's
Like,
more
if you could-
Lars.
if you
going,
could
like the
poop-
Metallica train. We're only going forward. It's all about being on the Metallica train. So that was like his explanation for like the fans shitting on them for just like completely alienating them and their style and all that shit.
I mean, yeah, it is a good-looking guitar. But like you said, how's
There
it
were
gonna
some
work?
songs
How's it
off
really
the last
play?
album actually wasn't too like.
I signed off at Saint Anger. Like I tried to get into that.
Oh, it's
I didn't check it out. I got a bunch of other new albums.
I pretty
I've been
much
listening
signed
to.
off after the Black album, but
Load and
I
Reload
thought-
had some cool stuff. You know?
yeah,
Some- ooh, yeah! I could still get down on Fuel when it comes on the radio.
yeah, but you know what I mean. Like I don't know, just
Just as like a fucking gag, you
But
know?
then then Death Magnetic came out, and everyone was like, dude, it's like back my name, and then I like, and, like
Yeah,
I
no.
listened to it, I was like, this is
Garbage.
fucking awful.
Garbage.
I could hear parts of like solos that they used to like maybe have like in old songs that they just cram together with like other stuff, and they just like put like real quick like speed patterns, like mix it together, and it's like supposed to be like early stuff that they had. It just sounded like literally someone chopped up pieces of old songs, threw it in a blender, took a piss on it.
There you go.
It was shit. I don't know. In my opinion, I mean, I tried to listen to most of the album through, and I was just like, this is garbage. There was some spots where I was like, okay, that was. That was the thing. But I have to be honest. There were for me the most recent one. There were a couple things.
Talking about
in there
Hardwired to Self-Destruct.
Yeah, there were some things in there I thought were kind of.
That is just such a fucking lame name, though. That's like, what was like
I agree.
a metal album title?
I agree. The same with Death Magnetic. Like, what the fuck is that?
Even Death Magnetic has a better ring to it than
It does, but it's stupid.
wired to my C4 to my ball sack to blow up.
Yeah, I mean, it's dumb, but I thought the album cover's kind of cool.
It's a coffin.
I'll give him that.
It's a coffin.
It's got the magnetic fields around it. I'll give him that. God. I mean, I didn't listen to anything past Black, though. It just doesn't stick.
I was
It's not sticking for me.
I watched that Iron Maiden documentary, the early years thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, it was really good. But
I watched that too. Was it the BBC thing or?
No, it was. I think it's something they put out because it was like in 4 different parts, and they were all like meaty segments.
Oh, okay.
But they talked about how Maiden was one of the first metal bands to really become like a fucking merchandiser's paradise with Eddie.
Oh yeah.
And apparently
Lars. At the head, yeah.
Lars had like based all of Metallica's merchandising strategy and like their branding image off of Iron Maiden's like methods.
Yeah. Well, they were kind of like forefront of that whole.
I mean, Megadeth tried to do the same thing.
Even with
dude.
harmonizing guitar parts, that was like a big thing that they kind of capitalized on, or like were at the forefront of having multiple guitars and then having them, play rhythm parts but harmonize together. They're multiple lead guitars. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just checked out almost all their discography.
Which gave it a meatier sound, a fuller sound, and it gave more of like a power feel to it,
amped it up.
Yeah.
I was just checking them out.
And then in the
I think I
documentary
read
they
that
had like the
somewhere, too.
whole like little crew of like dads who used to be in Iron Maiden, and they got them together at like some pub or whatever so they could shoot the interview. And it was just like a bunch of guys, and they had like a poster, and it was like, yeah, we used to be in Iron Maiden.
Oh, like
but we got either kicked out or quit ourselves.
Like the first singer and
dude, that fucking
Their first singer's like
the
Paul.
ex-members of Iron Maiden is larger than the band itself.
I mean, that's just gonna happen when you've been going for what?
Yeah, but they
40
had
years?
They had a shit ton of member turnover before like they even got their first
yeah,
album out.
yeah. Okay, yeah, that's true.
I mean, that happens though to some bands.
But for the most part, they've kept the same lineup from the beginning. There was some switching in between.
I mean, it's pretty solidified
It's
now.
pretty much just only been the bass player who's been in it the entire time, to my understanding.
No, I mean like after
fact check it.
after they started going, because it's been Dave Murray and Adrian. Adrian left for a while along with Bruce, but they got Yannick.
Yeah, they did that.
Yannick
They did
and-
that little like side project,
Yeah.
which
But then,
was not good.
but then
really for
Adrian
either
and
party.
Bruce came back, and then it was just, and they got rid of that Brandon guy, and then it was a cool song again.
All right. Do you have any news stories, Stefan?
I got one. It's kind of a downer though.
Well,
I saw it last night actually. It was about a kid who he was at his high school, and it sounds like he was going to tennis practice, and he like climbed into his back seat, and he was like using his parents' van, and the seat flipped up on him, and he called the cops not once, not twice, but 3 times to have him come and help him. I guess the seat had flipped and locked into position and like trapped him underneath it.
what?
He said, basically, like, there's 3 documented calls ranging from him, I need help, I'm at this high school, I'm in the back parking lot, to okay, I'm going to die. Tell my mom I love her.
Whoa.
And the cops came out there twice, couldn't find him. And then the third time, the operator, the dispatcher hung up on him.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Where was this?
And his dad found him 6 hours later. I think it was in Texas. I can double check though. I was trying to fact check.
Christ. Well,
You would think with like triangulation, like all the tech that's in phones.
That's how
that
his
they could
dad
find
found him.
Wow.
His dad called the phone company to back triangulate the phone. The police did not do that.
that's insane because it's literally so easy.
So yeah,
And
here
I
it
can
is.
do my own dad can do
Yeah,
it.
like I was gonna say,
Horrific-
your dad knows all about it.
Horrific
has,
teen dies while trapped in minivan's backseat. I'm not 100% sure the logistics of how he got.
Suffocated or what?
I'm thinking like the seat flipped up and like crushed his chest and then like just slowly compressed on him. But I'm like, the logistics of it, I don't understand. I don't understand the logistics of how
Unless
like the
he
seat
had
gets
asthma
locked
and he
on
got
you.
trapped and then he like.
But I guess it
mean,
happened in Cincinnati.
Did he bake in the car? Is that the issue?
No, it was at night. I'm
Did he
a little
die of,
confused.
like panic. I mean, I don't understand.
I don't know. I'm definitely confused on the logistics. There was only one really good article on it. Okay, so the people listening can't see this, but there's a drawing of him basically a person leaning over the back seat and like reaching into the trunk.
Yeah,
And what
don't
I think
understand
happened
how
is
that-
the seat flipped and then he got pinned with his head like in the
upside
trunk,
down?
upside
Wow.
down, and then it must have like locked into position and his arms couldn't move to move the unlocks.
That's so fucked. Like by the end of it, he just pretty much like had accepted his fate.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Whoa.
And they
But-
hung up on him.
Yeah, so there's like a huge investigation going on. I read the article last night and it was just disturbing to say the least.
Well, on the same token, they sent them out there twice.
I think they only let me double check that. It might have been once. I know they hung up on him on one of the calls, which just seems inappropriate because when people call, they send out an officer for a wellness check, at least in our area. Like no matter what it is, it could be like an accidental pocket dial.
Well, it depends. Location,
So, did
availability.
either of you hear about this? Facial recognition tech catches fugitive in huge crowd at a concert in China.
Holy shit.
A man was arrested after he was identified by facial recognition technology in a crowd of 50,000 people.
Say that one more time.
In motherfucking China.
Yeah, a fucking fugitive. There was like a concert of like 50,000 and the facial recognition tech that they had him spotted him and they caught him.
There's
I'm
just
not gonna say the next part, but holy shit.
just am I surprised? No. Do I know the technology's there? Yes. You know, like
I mean,
they were
how?
literally last year. There were literally companies who was just like, we can give you things to block your face from facial recognition. We have Facebook, that's part of the reason I got off. It was auto face recognitioning your images for you.
There was like a big thing
Yeah,
with
you're right. They're doing that shit before you.
automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's automatic. Like there's definitely facial recognition software out there, and with
there was a big thing with
Even
Apple
before Apple was
because
doing
they
this.
had it was a thing where people were getting around using your face to unlock your phone through facial recognition by just holding up a picture of like the person's face. You could just do that and it would like because they were selling it like, oh, it's not crackable or whatever.
Yeah.
And then somebody was just like
cracked.
I don't think I would.
literally with like a printout of somebody's face. That's my first thought when
I usually don't even opt for that type of stuff.
yeah.
What?
Well, that's the thing.
In the future, everyone goes out there wearing crappy
the
rubber.
fingerprint and the whole face thing. Even though those options are available, I usually don't even.
But it's
Once
like,
you use it, it's on file.
Yeah, it's
That's why I'm like.
But you don't need to opt into
what if
that
the
for them
future-
to like recognize your face.
That's true.
Like nobody in China is opting into it. Like legitimately, if you live in China, their facial recognition technology is like everywhere.
Well, they
and
probably have like a
It is
CCTV
so
thing,
good.
too.
Get this: you don't even need like a passport to like go through like the airport or whatever, or you don't need like a plane ticket.
Do
or
they have
whatever.
like a CCTV
They can
there?
recognize that you have paid for your ticket through your face, and you could just walk through the gate.
That's cool.
That-
In some respects,
I mean, it's
simple.
cool, but that's some wackadoo
Yeah,
shit
but-
right there.
Do they have like CCTV there too, where there's
Yeah.
just
Oh
like
yeah,
Absolutely,
China, yeah.
It's like crazy. It's like
It's
a
even bigger
surveillance
than
state.
It's even bigger than UK.
Yeah.
There's CCTV,
Which is saying
ridiculous.
something.
Yeah,
I mean, that's more than likely what the
for the
future will
size
hold.
of that country, and they can roll out that kind of tech.
But luckily I mean, one thing to China's credit is everything's really centralized too, though. Like most people are hoarded into the larger cities.
I don't know if that's a
they're
credit.
definitely. I know, but
30,000.
That's what I mean.
Living in a.
it makes it easier for that sort of a system.
It's just crazy though.
30,000 people living in what we would
Like
call
straight
like
up, that is like a
village,
scene
you know?
straight out of the new RoboCop. Like when they're introducing the new RoboCop model to the public eye, they essentially like install a bunch of software right before he goes out to address the public. And it's like the original RoboCop in reverse, where when he comes out of like his coma and he's in the robot body, like he still thinks he's human.
Yeah.
And then they put the software in him, and it's like this database of essentially like every crime that's been committed in like closed circuit TV access, and he has like all the shit in his head, and he like starts freaking out because he like
It's too much.
no, he goes to like his own murder essentially, and
Yeah.
he's like he's not supposed to know about this thing. But when they put him out in the public, like it's literally, this reminded me of this. He like gets on stage and like, this is the new RoboCop, and he's like, stop, you're under arrest. And this guy's just like, what? And he just like fucking like everybody thinks he's malfunctioning or whatever, and he just grabs this guy out of the
but
crowd.
he's
and he
got
was
his
actually,
record on file.
He was like a fugitive. That
I mean, but the thing with this is I'm not surprised. Is it scary? Yeah.
it's just
I'm
kind of
not
a little
either,
bit
but
of
I mean-
future shock that it is already to that level where you could have just a sea of faces,
Yeah.
and you could pick out.
But that's the thing with technology, is the rate it grows is exponential. Like in a line graph, it just
Right, it's-
keeps it's curving.
Moore's Law
up.
is what it's
Yeah,
called.
It just gets faster and faster.
Yeah, it goes from a curve to almost a straight line
Yeah.
up.
And people need to take it a little
Exponential
more
growth.
seriously. And there was a little bit of a debate today where it's just harder and harder for people to keep up. Basically,
Right.
It's
with
like
it.
every day we're
Yeah.
creating things more that it would have taken a span of 20 years to make.
One of my things about that has been like, what do you do with jobs and automation in that aspect? Like
That's the same kind of stuff that I'm facing in my company currently.
the rate at which
It's just gonna get
automation
phased out with machines.
Automation is just taking over.
and a lot of the
People are watching their jobs go bye.
a lot of older people have the perspective, it's like, oh well, new technology creates new jobs, you just get a job on the other end. It's like, no,
That's not how it works.
No,
That-
not anymore.
even like programming machines is starting to become automated. Like programmers are in danger of losing their jobs to automation.
I don't
too.
think this has ever made it, but that into our
there are
final
programs
cuts. But
that write programs now.
just it's going to reach a point where people are just going to be you are just going to need to give people like a living monthly stipend.
right. And there's dangers that go along with that
Yeah,
too.
but
They're
back to
already
what I was
doing it.
back to what I was saying though. On the flip side is there's people in government who just aren't aware of how fast things are changing, and they're not able to keep up
And
with
what
it.
on top of it, they don't care.
Well, yeah, a lot of them are so pumped full of that lobbyist stuffing
Right.
that they're just going to vote with whatever
Yeah,
the money says.
exactly. We'll just put $1 in my pocket. No, yeah.
You got a dollar?
You got $1? You got $1?
I'll vote on that. You got a dollar?
You got $1?
Terrifying. To stay on the tech thing, I thought this was kind of a cool thing. Apparently, Microsoft prints.
Does anyone need a beer?
Microsoft
A
prints.
soda pop, yeah.
Oh.
A rock pop.
Microsoft
are we
puts
drinking pop?
customer feedback on coffee cups in their cafeterias. So the people who are working at Microsoft literally get customer feedback like printed onto the cups that they're drinking coffee from. I thought that was like a really unique.
I think it's unique and creative, but it's at the same time like
It's weird.
it almost infringes upon like that individual's right to like have a moment to themselves, even in their own work environment.
I wasn't thinking of. Well, it's like okay.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
not
even they're just
infringing
trying to
that.
have just trying to have a cup of coffee.
If
and
you're
it's like,
if you're that up on it, then like
You know what it reminds
just
me
get
of?
a fucking mug.
You know what
yeah,
it,
or
like,
just don't work there.
You know what it reminds me of?
But you know what I'm saying, right?
Did you
But this
ever
one
watch,
said
uh,
this one is legitimate. Like it's like, dear Microsoft, I love you, but please stop configuring updates and let me work on my computer, please. Like that is a legit thing. Like, and it's cool that the company is like putting that in front of the people who have the ability to influence that.
For some reason, this just all
I
reminds
forgot
me of,
Jake didn't have any pants on.
For some reason, all this reminds me of this Orville episode, Seth MacFarlane's little Star Trek spinoff. Did you ever watch that?
One episode of it. I feel like I should check out more of it because from what I've heard, it's a lot more like the Next Generation than the fucking last Star
There's
Trek
an episode
generation.
where they go to a society.
Where's
where
ours?
No one said anything.
We all
Yeah,
wanted
we
one.
both wanted one.
We all wanted one. Okay, but they have an episode where they go to a planet where everything's decided on like a Reddit or Facebook like dislike system, and if you get too many dislikes, you get re-socialized. And it was, I don't know, this is all just reminding me of that episode. Just, I don't like, you get too many bad comments, go get re-socialized.
I just thought that was a unique way of putting it in front of like people rather than like having it just through, you know, some portal.
Welcome.
Yes, thank
Thanks,
you, Jake.
dude.
Thank you, Meter Maid.
Thanks, Pantsless.
Pants. I'm back. Welcome back to Smooth Jazz 101. Here with you live all night. Smooth.
Legs are looking pretty smooth, Jake.
Oh, it's stupid as fuck.
All right, welcome back. Jake Pyne filling in for Sean Sullivan this week,
The pine cone.
just giving us all a nice break. Mom and
A
Dad,
breath of fresh air.
Mom and Dad were gonna get a divorce. we needed a little time to ourselves.
Yeah.
All right, so what happened to you this week?
Okay, this week,
Are you guys gonna get a divorce?
maybe. Probably not. We'll stay together for the kids. But this week, I was driving to work, and I'm stuck in like a 2-lane road with incoming traffic, and there's a truck in front of me. And it's like a scrapper truck. So they have like a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in the bed.
Just a bunch of trash.
Dude hits a pothole, and nails and tacks fly out of the back of his bed and land
Jesus.
on the street in front of me. And I can't get around it because there's oncoming traffic. I can't do anything. I just had to drive right over.
Did you pop
A
anything?
truck of nails and tacks?
Well, it was like a scrapper truck, and he must have had like a 5-gallon bucket with like nails and tacks, and he hit a pothole and then just launched onto the street, and I just had to sit there and take it at like 6 a.m.
That's some bullshit.
No, I don't think I have any real good embedded nails or anything, but
God,
it's still a total bummer.
Like straight up, I don't get how dump trucks that are just flying down the freeway
how's that legal?
with just a fucking mound of stones that is
Yeah.
over the top of what it is. Like
can't
wind is
be legal.
literally
It's gotta
blowing
be.
that shit out the back, and you're just buying
Like
this
the gravel trucks.
Yeah.
They've got to have. There's got to be, because you see the ones with the covers on them.
I'm sure the scrapper
There's got to
truck
be
was
some
not
kind of
legal.
like, right? I mean,
Who knows?
or maybe it's just insurance. Maybe it's like maybe they don't legally have to, but maybe they are legally obligated if they fuck your car up. I don't know.
That's just bad.
There's like this gruesome video. I don't know what country it was, but like a truck
What
like
happens
that.
when a stone like that comes through your windshield?
That's what I'm saying.
Bricks.
A fucking
Kills
brick
ya.
blew out of the back of the truck, blew through the passenger side of the window,
Kills you.
and
dead.
killed a woman.
Yeah.
And
Smashed
just
your
the
skull.
scream haunts me to this
that
day.
almost happened to my stepsister. She was
God.
driving behind a large truck carrying bricks like that, and they detached. Luckily, she was able to get out of the way, but horrifying stuff.
So straight up, man, this week I'm just falling apart at the seams, man. I fucking broke my wrist last week.
After the cast,
Yep. But this week, I fucked my shit up at work this morning. I fucking there is mice. There's a mouse that had babies at the shop floor. So there's been a couple baby mice like running around and stuff. And I walked in.
little Ekin going on at work.
Yeah.
People just
It's like it's just a mouse. It's just a cute little mouse. And I get like you don't really want to get bit by them and risk whatever diseases that they have.
Yeah, but you'd have to be like picking them up and like squeezing their body.
Right.
And it's like
Which I did end up having to do because like
squeeze the life out of it.
somebody just put a fucking I have no qualms about killing vermin, but I don't like doing things that like prolong the suffering of said vermin. It's like put out a mouse trap, or put like a trap that's like humane, or put a trap out
Just
that's
wanted to be
going to
quick
like
and fast for it.
kill them instantly. Somebody put out fucking like fly paper on the ground
Yeah, that's fucked up.
and caught one of these baby mice,
and it's just
It's
it is
tearing
just
its own
stuck.
legs off.
It is stuck in the fucking tar, and it literally like
couldn't even pull it off if you wanted to.
it tuckered itself out just trying to get off, and it had torn half the hair off itself just in the struggle.
That's fucked up.
And I'm just like, what the fuck, guys? And
That's
it
sad.
caught one of them, and I thought it was dead. A couple hours later, somebody came up to me and was like, are you guys just gonna leave this thing there? And I looked at it, it's still alive.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
little heartbreaking.
So I tried to like humanely get it off the fucking thing. I put on some rubber gloves and like picked it off the thing.
Just hit it with a hammer, man.
The thing was so fucked. I was like thinking about like putting it down, but like it pretty much just died.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
So I went around, picked up the fly paper, threw it out.
Good on
And
you,
somebody
man.
else put more down. And I was like, okay, what the fuck? If
mean,
you're gonna
my
do it,
parents-
do it humanely.
My parents put out mouse traps, but those are like it snap and it kills them,
Yeah, the snap traps.
But on top of it, the cat and the dog were fucking eating the things.
Right.
They'd snatch them up. My parents heard them scurrying around downstairs. They go in the small bathroom on the middle floor. It's just a little, it's got a toilet and a sink. That's a little washroom.
Squeak! Squeak, I tell you, squeak!
My mom hears noise in there. Sometimes she can't sleep, so she sleeps on the couch.
Your mom
She
doesn't
hears-
seem like the type of lady who'd be afraid of a mouse.
No, not at all. So she can't sleep. She goes in there. She hears noise going on in this little washroom, like the middle level, just bathroom or whatever.
It's
and
just a feast or
goes
famine.
in there, and the cat and the dog are just sitting there looking up at her, and the dog has the mouse in its mouth, just like a little tail hanging out of his mouth, just looking up at her like, what? They were just playing with this dead thing.
It's just like, What is in your mouth?
The cat ended up
Spaghetti.
between the cat and the dog, they ended up killing like 6 or 7 mice, and then that was it. They never saw a mouse again.
Not bad.
The cat and the dog did the trick. The mouse traps 0, cat and dog like 7. Like, what the fuck? How are you guys getting these things? They're batting around,
Just
playing
being
with them.
attentive.
I mean, they're
being
dead.
animals.
Yeah,
They
did
got
what
nothing else going on.
But the funny thing is, the cat, like, just his natural instinct. The cat was never never let outside, never taught any of these things. It just did its thing.
It's all natural.
Hardwired to fucking kill. And the dog was joining in too, which is weird.
Well, it seems fun.
Yeah, he's just playing with the cat, like, oh, good,
It's a far cry from John Arbuckle's cat.
Right. So, part 2 to this story.
Well, I was gonna mention, it was kind of like that infomercial, or that fake commercial that SNL did about roaches, and it was like, it was like this little box, and the roach would go in there, and its body would get stuck to the little like tar paper, and there was like, and then these little arms and pinchers would come off and rip the legs off the roach, beat the roach with its own
I remember
legs, and then a hot coil would come and burn its ass off and shove like a cotton ball of poison into its mouth at the same time. And then like the selling element was like, the selling point was like, and it even has like a clear plexiglass window on the top,
So you can
where you
watch.
can watch the whole thing happen.
And the roach is just in there like, no! So, going to the AM production meeting, and I'm walking next to the lady who shares the office with me, and she lets out a eek! Oh, there it is! Another mouse. She spots it. I'm like, oh, fucking, yeah, maybe I can catch this thing and get it the fuck out of here before it gets, like, caught in the tar pits.
Yeah, they come back.
The
though.
tar pits.
I don't think this one could have, because it was, like...
It's missing a leg.
No, it was a dumb baby. Like, this was not the one previously.
Okay.
This was a different one of the litter.
Those babies are small, man. It's like a water bottle cap.
Like, legit, 1 years ago, it must have never seen a human before, because it was just, like, chilling right in the middle of the floor. You could walk right up to it, and it was just like, hi.
Hello, giant.
Yeah.
Hi,
But,
big man.
so this fucking thing scurries into the, between the wall and this little tub. I don't see it come out the other side. I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm just like, grab a box, and I pull the tub out, and I'm just like fixated in on the mouse. I fucking get it down on top of it right as the box like goes underneath, like over it. It's about to turn a corner and go underneath a staircase. I fucking get the box on top of it, and boom, right
Head bash.
on my right on the bridge of my nose, hit the fucking railing of the stairs. Just
Puke.
full run. I was just like, oh, ugh.
I thought you were good
I
at
broke
that.
my nose.
I thought you were good at that headbutting stuff.
Those are the kind of
This
ones.
is not a headbutt, dude. This
when
is
you-
where you do the headbutt.
When you catch full mass on the bridge of your nose, it's like puke level. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You're like,
Just climbs up. Yeah.
Like the fucking
turn-
eyes just watered up immediately. I was just
I
like,
think I'm turning
I
Japanese.
think I broke my nose. Fuck. There's a mouse under that box. Like straight up, the guy who does like all the slitting and stuff at work for the paper stocks. He was like around the corner. I was like, I caught the other mouse,
Slitting?
but I think I broke my nose. So then I had this thing in the box, and it was all freaking out. And this dude is like looking over in the corner. He's like, "Oh, don't freak out, little buddy. This dude's trying to get you out of here. The other people are trying to kill you." No, absolutely, man. I have like
trying to save
no
you,
issue
man.
with like getting that shit out of there. It's like a shop. You have to have like cleanliness standards like that.
Yeah, we had a
absolutely.
bird problem at ours.
But it's
bird?
like, but it's
yeah,
like,
birds would come in because we have a pretty large facility, and birds got into the facility and they just sit on like the I-beams above.
oh yeah.
Shit on
Ominous,
stuff.
dude.
Just
We've
shit
had
on
we've
stuff,
had
though.
birds. We've had birds in our plant. We've had oddly enough bats.
Yeah, the
I remember
loading
driving a
doors.
forklift and seeing a bat coming at me head on down the hallway, literally flying right at me. I'm like, oh, I don't have to duck, or is he gonna duck? And he's coming right at me, but it's like slow motion. I was like,
He
Was
turns
it-
off at the last moment.
What kind of bats do we have here? Are they like the cool flying fox
No,
type
we have
style
very
bats, or the
sm-
little
we have-
fucking
We have
They look like little mice, but
yeah, we have they're like
with
mice
fucking
with wings,
demon faces.
Yeah. No, they're just mice with wings, pretty
Okay.
much.
yeah,
they're really small.
their faces aren't even that gruesome. They're just
Flying foxes.
they
though,
look
those
like
are
tiny
cool.
little
Yeah.
mice, but they fly around.
They had all the cute little videos of feeding them bananas.
There's even a story of a guy at our work of a bird got in there, and the bird must have been like not all there, you know, because it was just kind of like being all kooky.
Damaged goods.
And it was just sitting on his like sitting with him, like he's driving around the plant on the forklift. He's like, I'm gonna get this guy out of here. Takes him all the way through the plant. You know, he's hanging out with him most of the day. And then he's like, okay, it takes him to the end of the plant, you know, to let him out. And
Shoulders
that's
just
when
covered in shit.
the bird finally kind of just snaps out and is like, oh, go to fly out the window and just dies right there.
Oh, buddy.
You know, he's about to take him, open the dock door and let him out, and he just sees the big bay window and he goes flying for it and game over.
That's a bad mess.
Oh God. Yeah, some birds are smart. Not that one.
No.
I see blue skies. I'm coming, Daddy.
All right, yeah. Last time we all fucking hung out together, we went and saw the fucking travesty that is The Last Jedi, and we just left the theater just looking at each other like, what the fuck just happened?
The horror.
The horror! I saw somebody post on Facebook today. It was like, oh, on my flight back, I finally got to watch The Last Jedi. It's like the best Star Wars spoof since Spaceballs.
Oh, right. Yeah. You know, and after that movie, I even reached out to other friends.
For
warn
emotional
them?
support.
Yeah,
I
them, or-
literally, yeah, and some of these people actually enjoyed it, and I was like,
You're dead to me.
I was like, talk me off this ledge, then.
You are fucking
Can you
dead to
fix
me.
this for
Talk
me?
me off the ledge. Fix this for me. Is this a nightmare? Wake me up. They couldn't do it. They don't see my point of view.
I knew something was wrong when Luke just wiped the fucking milk off. his
Yeah, we had
fucking
a little,
mouth from that
uh,
titty.
I just
Gurney Mills
all
ad
I
in
could
there.
do was I was just picturing him reading that script and going, "You want me to do what?"
I don't think Luke Skywalker would ask
I
like
pictured
this.
I pictured that milk jug no different than the big cock, and he's looking up at the guy going, "Okay,
Sure, I can.
you're gonna
suck that
pay me
down.
for this? All right."
Like, I've had this conversation with some people at work too, and it's almost like they're not even listening to what I'm saying to them. It's like, I don't
know.
give a shit about like all the stuff, like the plotline stuff. I just legitimately feel like it was edited together like a fucking...
Like a 5-year-old.
It's like, let's put it in a jug and shake it up, and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
if there is a good movie in an edit of what they have someplace in there.
There was something in there, but it was not presented on that screen.
It was like someone showed up at a party and started pulling gizmos and gadgets and toys. out of a large, out of a large sack.
Yoda? Well, here he is.
And here's
It
some
was like
little
someone
furballs
showed-
for you.
It was like a kid's birthday party, like for 5-year-olds, and someone showed up with a big velvet sack full of gizmos, gadgets, and toys, and went, "Look what we got here!"
I mean, isn't that how Disney sees it, though?
I actually didn't
What
mind.
do we got here?
I didn't mind the porgs. The porgs were all right.
What were the
They're a little
porgs? Were
overplayed
those
for
the?
me.
The porgs served
milking?
an actual
Oh.
function, though. Apparently, there is a massive puffin population on that island that they filmed on. So they put the porgs over the puffins.
Oh yeah, that's what I had assumed to begin with.
Still.
Just kind of like a little penguin.
But
kinda.
yeah, then they did it like twice
But-
more. It's like, oh, they got the cute porgs. Like,
well,
that's
I mean,
fine.
you know, have the
And then they had
have
the fucking
porgs, but we gotta
the
have
horse
them, like,
race animals that they broke out, and then they had the fucking ice
puppy
crystal
dog-
foxes.
the puppy dog horse race animals. Yeah, they look at you like
We gotta save the ones we love.
the crystal.
Well, so we won't save the people, we'll just
didn't
save
they
these
call them like the
horses.
crystal creatures or?
Yeah, the fennec foxes made out of crystal. Yeah.
Oh, it's just-
Oh, the crystal creatures.
They'll lead us out of here.
And the forest in the cave fox
My
and the
big thing is-
gold.
I find it really hard to relate to Rey as a character because she has no challenges that she has to overcome. Like Luke.
Who
and,
cares? Her parents are drunks.
No, her parents are irrelevant apparently.
Yeah.
Like
But you know that's not the case.
Anakin, yeah, no, but Anakin and Luke had like trials to overcome, and all of those Rey has beaten without blinking an eye.
Yeah, because she's
perfect.
I really hope they just
It's hard to relate to a character like that.
they just shit can Johnson's trilogy prospect. Like the prospect of him getting his own trilogy after that fucking turd, and maybe it wasn't him, and that's what I feel like gets glossed
should just
over
I
in
think they should
conversations with
remake
people
it.
at work. Is that they shit on the director immediately, and I was like, I'm not
There's
sure.
a lot more people in a director.
Yeah,
in
I
making
feel
of a
like
movie.
this one like went array because it was like a boardroom.
I think a lot of it was editing.
I mean, especially when you're working with Disney. Disney's gonna just be
well, on the
breathing
same,
on your
but
neck.
I will. But also, I really liked Force Awakens.
I liked Force Awakens.
I thought it was cool.
I liked Rogue One.
Because
I liked Rogue
I was
One.
going.
I didn't really
going,
care for
I was going
Force
Disney.
Awakens.
Disney. Okay, are they gonna f this up?
I didn't really like Force Awakens. I liked Rogue One a lot.
I guess Solo is really going to be the one
Force
that
Awakens was brutal, dude.
will-
The first scene, I show up and then there's like, what do we do with the survivors? Kill them all. And then there's blood and brutality. I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, and it
Disney.
really like put a human face on the stormtroopers like immediately because like Finn freaks out. And he's like, I don't want
yeah, and I thought they did a good job. But
But I
second
still
one
had
was
the
a
same
turd.
feeling of like vomiting. I was really sick that night.
Yeah.
But within like the first 20 minutes, The Force Awakens had won me over. Like it started off and I was like, I'm a little worried actually. And,
Yeah.
And then it eventually won me over and I was just like along for the ride.
Yeah. And,
And
then
then-
they released that turd.
The Last Jedi, I was just like, okay, maybe this is just the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
When's this going to win me over? I'm still
Never
waiting.
happened.
Halfway through the movie, it's like, okay, like it's going to get good now.
It's like
It's
trying
gonna-
to do it when you like you just drank
Forza-
way too much whiskey. You got whiskey dick and you're hoping when's this gonna work out.
Well, yeah,
And she got tired and she's dried up and now she's just trying to finish you out with the hand and you know it's not gonna happen.
Last Jedi and Force Awakens didn't really do it for me. I enjoyed Rogue One a lot.
For me,
I'm curious to see how Solo will be.
Yeah,
It really looks like it's going to be this
I think there's potential.
Guardians of the Galaxy type movie to me, at least from the
I know what
trailers.
you're
But I mean,
saying.
how
That's
can I
fine.
really judge a movie
fine.
by the trailers?
I
So-
feel like this is going to be the one that's either going to make or break the camel's back because for me, this is either going
Same.
to put it at 50% failure or 75% success since Disney took it over.
Yeah. Force Awakens good. Rogue One good. Last
That
Jedi
which shall not be
turd.
named.
Yeah.
I like
the
Rogue One.
turd that should not be.
That one's for you, Metallica.
Yep. Thanks.
It's a big.
See,
deal.
I don't know. Like, it looks like it could be good. Like, it looks like it's going to be like a heist movie.
Yeah,
and I
think
love
that
heist
I think
movies.
that the actor that they picked, I think
Could do it for
I
you.
don't hate him, so
And they hired, although it was halfway through, they brought in Ron Howard, and I like Ron Howard movies. He did Apollo 13.
yeah,
He did
and
Dennis the Menace. He did,
he did Opie.
yeah, he did Opie. He was, well, I'm
was
talking
great.
about like his
He was great.
directorial.
I know, but I gotta throw that in there.
He did one of his more recent movies that I don't feel like got a lot of play was Rush, which has Chris Hemsworth from Thor fame in it. He plays a F1.
The ultimate bro.
He basically is ultimate British bro in like.
I forgot he was British. Yeah,
He does a good job.
No,
with the-
he's British in the movie. He's Australian in real life.
does a good job with his accents.
damn it.
But yeah, he plays I forget the actual name of the racer, but the other racer's name is Niki Lauda. I think it was the 1976 F1 season where these two had this huge rivalry. And
Rush.
yeah, Rush. It's a good movie. It's a Ron Howard flick. Fucking Lauda, apparently
Is there
in
a
real
video
life,
game called Rush?
got San Francisco Rush. You're thinking of maybe? It was a racing game. Yep. Rush. But fucking Lauda in real life, you should look him up. He got fucking burnt over like almost all of his body in just a horrific crash.
Oh, brutal.
And he like literally had to fucking have like tubes like stuck into his lungs to like he inhaled just like the heat and it like burned the inside of his lungs. And
that's
they had
how
to,
a
like,
lot of people actually die from.
Yeah, they just like cook the inside of their lungs from
Yeah,
breathing
they
the heat
inhale
in.
the flame and it literally will singe all the little.
I mean, you can't tell with some of these pictures. So
That one you kind of can. Well, yeah, he's like aged, so. But yeah,
I can tell. You can tell it. That's
Yeah, look at that one.
I mean,
Look at
no,
that
I
one
mean,
right there.
Even right there.
This is him as a young man.
I mean, yeah, I can tell he's been
Holy-
burned,
yeah.
but you can't tell he's got tubes in his lungs. That's for sure.
Oh, James Hunt was the other guy, but
What? One more time? What
Yeah,
was
they-
it?
I'm not gonna give you this, serve you up that easy. But yeah, they were like sticking tubes down his fucking lungs and like sucking the fucking debris and shit out.
Yeah, the fluid and the. Jesus.
F1 is some cool stuff.
That is gnarly.
You don't get a lot of it here in the States.
Oh,
though.
my dad got me into that stuff when I was younger. We've seen some of the races too.
Oh, these guys raced for Marlboro, huh?
But dude, it's cooler when you go to the actual race. You know, what I mean, you watch it on TV, it's like whatever. But you see the.
I feel like I'd
Formula 1
rather
cars.
watch it on racing.
I've done NASCAR before, but F1's way better.
No,
I would rather watch it on TV rather than just being
I
like
saw
at the
NASCAR
race
live.
where you just like you're just sitting there and it's just like, okay, here they come.
Well, dude, it's like,
Okay.
I don't know, like
Here they come again.
When I went, like because it was like it's not like it's just a circular track, but it was cool because you feel like the power and the.
Yeah, I mean, you could totally feel it. When I did NASCAR, you could feel them when they go by, but NASCAR is like really boring.
Yeah.
Just watching
Yeah.
a bunch of guys turn in a circle.
Yeah, but with the Formula 1
300 times or
cars, I
something.
mean, there was a bunch of other races too. They did a lot of those Mazda Miatas. They did a lot of those, and a lot of their cars raced, but they did the Formula 1 cars too, and it's just so much power, and like you feel every car that goes by, and it's. I mean, they have monitors too where you can watch it, but it was cool to like actually like be there too. You know, and on top of it, it was like free. You know, they'd take me to it, so it was like it's not like I planned an event. I was just brought to a thing and then enjoyed it. But,
You absolutely have to have balls of steel to drive an F1 car because
yeah.
you have to go a certain speed in order to get the downforce. Otherwise, you'll fly right off the fucking track.
Yep, you're done.
And it's like you have to go fucking fast through these corners. And it's like,
Yeah.
how do you take your first time through like a corner in order to get that? You have to have some like sort of reservation to it. Like, how
Well,
do you get
watch
to the
them go
point
in
where
those
you're
corners and you can tell it's just like they're literally just jerking. You know, it's ridiculous.
But it's just like insane. It's like if you don't go fast enough, there isn't going to be enough like downforce to keep your car on the fucking road.
yeah,
So it's like unsafe to go slow.
it's ridiculous. You literally need the wind to push your car onto the ground.
Do you want to... Okay, earlier today... are we recording right now?
Yes.
Okay. Earlier today, the U.S. basically destroyed a Russian offensive. It's not officially Russian. It was Russia refers to them as mercenaries, but it's the same troops that would have been used in like Ukraine.
Oh wow, this thread's only an hour old.
Yeah.
eh?
So earlier today, 500 to 250 Russian troops were killed by a U.S. airstrike, and less than an hour ago, the U.S. and UK just announced that they're launching military strikes on Syria. So this is going to be a combined force with basically UN peacekeeping forces. This is UK and France, who are outside of the U.S., the other strong arm of the UN. Definitely France's.
I'm trying to figure out why Russia was backing Syria to begin with. Aren't they killing their own people?
They're not a big fan of the Kurds, and they'd rather have just stability in the region, especially with groups like.
It's also just like a perpetuation of proxy war.
yeah.
But people like Hussein and Assad may not be good men, but they bring stability to the area, and you got to keep in mind that this is
because
on,
they're a dictator.
this is on Russia's
people under
doorstep.
rule and thumb, or
Yeah, this is on Russia's doorstep. So this just happened less than an hour ago. So UK, US, and France are
Here we go, boys. You ready
We're
for
going
the
to be
draft?
engaging in Syria. And probably
Yeah,
just-
and then on top of it, Russia's gonna go, well, fuck you, and then we're gonna be like, well, fuck you.
yeah.
I don't think it'll escalate that quick.
I hope not.
You'd hope not, but it's
But they've
definitely
already
something-
been escalating.
What did you
Definitely
say on the
something-
target and the casualties?
Okay, the one that so
This would be hell to pay.
the one that happened earlier today was about
They're
200
actual
to
Russian troops.
There was 250 to 500 quote unquote mercenaries, which are essentially Russian troops. It's like Blackwater, is my way to relate it. I'd say they're controlled by another Russian oligarch, and they use them to escape blame of using actual Russian Federation troops.
Well, I guess that's like one of the reasons you would expect it to not essentially escalate into
You'd hope
full-blown
not.
war
Yeah.
off of this, because that's what it's
Because they're using it as a
But this,
scapegoat.
they're using that's the
so
same.
it's like by going into that, you're confirming that these were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But this is the same. This is the same tactic they used in Ukraine. They used Russian mercenaries to throw pro-Russian propaganda out. But also, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Maybe 2-3 days ago, there was a huge chemical weapons attack in Syria.
Yes,
A bunch of
yes.
people,
Yeah.
kids and stuff, got killed. So stuff's escalating.
Which
And
is
hopefully-
essentially why they had the attack on.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, today the attack on the Russian mercs was because they were assaulting a Russian oil field, Kurdish and U.S. controlled. There were U.S. and Kurdish troops down there. They started getting shelled. They called the
A
de-escalation.
Russian oil field?
No, it was a U.S. and
US.
Kurdish controlled. You know who the Kurds are?
Yeah.
They're our
Yeah, and
pocket
let's
guys.
not forget, we have this whole guise of proxy war and stabilizing the region, but this is what we're after here. This is what both sides are after,
Oil.
essentially.
So
Oil.
the Russians were attacking this oil field, and a de-escalation hotline was called. They actually have that. That's kind of fucked up when you think about it. Can we de-escalate the situation and get the Russians to stop attacking us? They forward the message. No response. U.S. responds with massive artillery strikes and just wipes out most of this force. But I guess it's official. They're going into Syria, boys. Less than an hour ago, this was announced.
It's the coalition of the willing, essentially.
This is the UN, basically, coalition.
Yep. This is not, drafted folks. These are people who signed up to be in the military.
You'll probably see French Foreign Legion out there for sure. And then I don't know what kind of UK troops they'll send in there. But it's
Fucking
good.
another goddamn war. God damn it.
We're still in war.
Yeah, we haven't even wrapped up the last one. That's the fucked up thing.
That's because you're trying to bring stability to an area that it's
To an area that doesn't want stability.
Yeah, right.
They want it, but not enough of them, and they're too afraid.
Well, yeah, that's what that.
Yeah.
That's essentially something a lot of people forget or don't even have.
Half the area doesn't want stability because they want to control the other area.
A lot of people haven't even been armed with the knowledge that this has been an ongoing thing for a very long time. Foreign invaders and presence in the Middle East.
Yeah, and
Has been-
and they'll call it one war,
Yeah.
another war, another.
But to them, it's just one big thing.
or another
especially
military
for-
action, another military
they're-
action. This is a war. This is a war. This is a thing. But really, it's been the same spiel since the 80s.
Even before that.
Even before that,
Even
like,
before
we're
that.
talking like
Even
into
the
like
50s.
medieval times.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
Afghanistan
yeah.
has always had this going on there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as far as the oil and controlling
Yeah.
that region in the U.S. was.
Our reasons for being there
Have
externally changed between opiums and oils, but Syria, man, that war's been going on for a long
Even
time
when we made
already.
Israel a state, there was the idea of controlling the oil that was out there, and having a kind of a base point for that region of the air. The U.S. can kind of launch off of from that area. You know what I mean?
I just hope, obviously, that this doesn't boil up into more things. I was convinced for a long time Ukraine was going to be the boil over point because it's just so close to. It's closer, obviously, than Syria is to the
Man, I
European
got friends
Union.
that live there too.
I was actually privy to talking to my neighbor who lives a few doors down. She is a first-generation Ukrainian immigrant, and apparently, like, the tone of like the people there is they do not particularly like Putin. According to her,
A lot of people don't like Putin.
She had like a problem with her car where she ended up like getting her battery drained, and there was like nobody to really help her. I think she's like a widow. So she was like off to the library one day. She couldn't start her car. She had accidentally left her trunk door open and a light had been on all night and it just drained her battery. So I took her to like, AutoZone to get her battery checked out, and we were talking about stuff. And this just happened to be when the Crimean Peninsula was being invaded.
That was a big deal because that was Russia's freshwater port. That would have been their port into the Mediterranean. It's a big deal for them. And I mean, I don't like Putin, and obviously a lot of people that are here are going to say they don't like Putin. But I got to admit, the guy, I don't like the guy, but the guy does know what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like absolutely. I don't agree with the shit that he does, but he
knows what the fuck he's doing.
But the same thing happened when Obama was president, because Putin went, I call your bluff.
Yeah. The guy is
Obama
definitely...
said this, and Putin went, okay, steps over the line.
Yeah.
Obama says, you do that again, and I swear. And he goes, yeah, fuck you. Steps over the line again. Because he knew that he wasn't going to do fucking shit.
He definitely knows what he's doing.
All right. On a bum note, again, let's take another break.
I don't know, that was hot news, though. It just came in hot off the press.
All right.
Family member posts a picture of them with Paul Ryan. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, I had one of those this week.
Jesus God. Just stop.
Man, I wish we could play some Metallica, but Lars would come and get us.
We could just play it backwards, right?
James Hetfield would jump through the fucking wall like the Kool-Aid guy, and he'd be like, no, he'd be like, Sue, yeah, Sue. Lawsuit. So here's yeah.
How would you do like ooh yeah backwards?
You what?
Speaking of Metallica, we're doing suggestion box.
Right.
And I got a suggestion box here. It's the
Robert. Welcome
we
to Suggestion Box, our only recurring segment,
Our only original segment.
material. And I feel pretty good about it, where we write ideas down on cards and read them back and try to figure out the context in which we thought they were funny and to expand upon them. So, this week, Stefan, you gonna go first?
bass player body pillows.
Oh, this one. Yeah. This one was one that I had suggested a couple weeks ago. This was it correlates directly to Metallica. It is the Robert Trujillo waifu pillow.
Just body pillows of your favorite bassists. They need some loving.
Not just your favorite bassist, but it's for like the super fans of like any band, where it's like you are way into this band. Just get them a body pillow of like this person to like fuck. Like I feel like nowadays, like, what we should do
and the
is
bassist never gets any poonaner. So
what we should do is
it's
just
a win-win. Even
do
for the
something
pillow.
directly off of Beloved Tees, where you just like take a standard sized pillowcase and then just do the prints
impose
on
it onto it. But you were thinking more like one of those. Back in the day, they had these stuffed Hulk Hogan like pillows.
Yeah, straight up.
So it'd just be like a body-shaped pillow.
Yeah, like an actual body to cuddle with.
They got
For the super fan in your
They got
life that likes a
boyfriend-
band way
Oh,
too much.
They got boyfriend pillows like that though, where it has an arm, like a disembodied arm or whatever attached. to it.
They do have that actually, where it's just like an arm that you can spoon with, kind of.
It's almost like a white T-shirt and like an arm that comes off of it.
It's almost better than spooning with your actual boyfriend because the arm never falls asleep.
It's not as cold as your boyfriend's heart.
I actually saw. I think
might
they
be
made
cool
like
to the
mattresses
touch,
with
but-
slots in them where you could like slip your arm underneath.
Slots?
I'm gonna go out to Vegas to play some of the slots myself.
How many slots can you fit in that sliz? How hot are your sliz slots?
Okay.
All right, what you got?
Space captain of a ship who is Cajun, and none of the crew members can understand him. So he's essentially
I know where you got this from.
he's essentially like Captain Picard on the bridge. He has the con, and he's just like, "Why you want you?" And everyone's like, "What? Huh? Why? Stand up!"
You just trying to organize a good old.
Rhino our shields up. It's like, oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Could you imagine just like hearing that coming over like the?
I have a guy at work that sounds like that.
He's just trying to organize a good old clam bake.
Seriously though, a good lobster, and shrimp or clam bake. That's just some absolute good time.
Oh yeah, crawdads.
Yeah, just a huge pot. You just pour it. You literally dump it onto the table, and people just come and grab what they
I've
want.
seen him make it, and it made me so hungry.
You're gonna have to come over to my house. I do them.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
just-
me and Britt do them. You got to come over and have some.
I can just imagine him walking up to the replicator and ordering some, just like, bang, yum, yum. And it's just like,
Please say again.
no, it's just like after a couple of times, it just tries, and it's just like
Prints out a doodle bob.
it's just like a pile of mush.
Prints out a doodle bob. This is a skit I thought of today when I was getting a tattoo. So it's a group of people talking. Location isn't important, but the group is when they're having their conversation, they say like with increasing frequency and speed until it devolves into spitting, tonguing air, and blowing raspberries.
I could just imagine that. Well, basically, I was like doing this thing, and then the like thing like. Oh my God, that's basically us. Someone just blows their head off, and it's just a tongue right there. Like the thinky parts aren't even controlling it anymore. It's just like
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going for. Because they just kept saying like.
that is something that I really tried to improve. Listening to this, I noticed I say like a ton. And I feel like I've gotten better.
We're working on it, people.
It's like some people's and I think the only
we're all guilty of it, and it literally takes you listening to yourself to acknowledge it.
First you have to acknowledge it, and then even though you have acknowledged it, you really have to work at it.
Because that happened when I was getting tattooed today. There was just a group of like 4 people like saying like all the time,
Like,
and like it was driving me crazy, and like
what else?
I just couldn't like handle it, and like, oh my God.
There was an interview I watched recently with Frank Zappa on Letterman, and he brought his daughter Moon Unit on.
Was she hot?
She was 14.
Oh,
Just copped
She's older now, but
was she hot then?
she was funny. Like, fuck. She had this.
Of it.
She had this bit that she did making fun of Valley Girls, and it's that whole it's like totally tubular thing. It was like the mid '80s too.
But yeah,
And I feel like that has just permeated too much. It swept through pop culture too much to the extent we're still saying it today.
It.
Like.
And you know what? It's too bad.
How many likes does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Everyone has something in a similar vein. Our previous president said all the time. That was really frustrating. I thought it was a very weak
What?
talking point. Obama, he said all the time.
Well, you need when
And
it's
need
like
that
Zuckerberg sipping on the water while Congress is grilling. It's like you
zuck
need
me
that.
off,
You
zuck
need
me
that
off.
little.
What is
It's a strategic point to think about what you're about to say.
Yeah.
And it's better to just train
replace
yourself to say nothing.
replace it with the
It
beer
is.
cracking open.
It's hard though because consciously you
Very
feel
hard.
like you need filler.
No, not even consciously. It's completely unconscious.
Sorry. Unconsciously you feel you need a filler. And it takes a lot of public speaking to do that. What is Trump's filler? Is it just sad? Just goes sad.
Maybe.
Okay.
I haven't listened
Every
to him.
word out of his mouth
Okay.
is just filler.
Okay.
It's all filler, no killer.
Okay.
All right. This is one. Actually, I should
Does
just
the
finish the
shuffle.
cell phone ones. I really don't like to write these on my. I like the physicality of writing them
Of
on
the card?
and
What-
dropping
yeah.
them in the box.
What am I supposed to write down?
Anything during the week, just write down.
For you would be a gold mine because you may or may not be here constantly, and you
Yeah.
can just fill up a ton of.
I think
Weed
of shit all
cards.
the time.
I do this weekly and go through them all.
And then we just
Let's
distribute
check the
them.
memos.
That's the thing though, is we just distribute them. We all read them because it's you can't.
Okay, so you've both seen the beginning of Ghost in the Shell, where the major jumps off the building and she
Yep.
does. It's like an iconic scene where she wipes over her face.
The
and goes-
thermoptic camouflage.
Yeah, she goes into
Really love that
it's
anime.
Beginning of the Ghost in the
watch it
Shell.
again.
Solid. So
Just
good.
watch it again. It's good.
Beginning of Ghost in the Shell when the
Denied.
major goes into camo, but it's John Cena's face.
Oh God.
It's gonna deny me. I like that.
John Cena.
I feel like that's an untapped Cena-ing, just waiting to happen.
It is yeah. Just
I still appreciate like a years later after the meme is passed, somebody gets you with a good John Cena that you haven't seen
absolutely.
before.
Well, make that one, and
Right.
that would be it.
I think we had one of those last week too, didn't we?
A John Cena-ing?
A CC.
A Cena-ing?
CC.
We like John Cena. He's a good guy.
John Cena, good guy.
Is
He's
he
a
in
good
the
guy.
new Step Brothers movie? that they
No,
came out
he's
with?
in this new movie where they're something about the girls want to get fucked this time instead of the boys trying to get fucked, and he's like a dad or something,
The
right?
babysitter.
I don't know. It's like not your average movie. The girls want to get fucked this time.
Girls
Party.
just wanna have fun.
I straight up want a movie that is essentially the first half of Full Metal Jacket, but that's the whole movie, and John Cena's the drill sergeant. I just want a movie of John Cena talking shit to grunts, like in training.
I
could
see
dig it.
that. I'm surprised they haven't made that already.
I'm surprised they haven't just like taken the first half of, like the first half and the second half of
Full Metal.
Full Metal Jacket, not Alchemist.
I
So we
like
were
Full
just
Metal.
talking anime.
Full Metal Alchemist is cool.
Well, metal.
Alchemist.
But I feel like those
Full
are
Metal
two
Catalyst?
completely different movies.
Just make the Armstrong movie already and get it over
I
with.
know, right?
Sorry.
Where is Armstrong? Why don't they just make this?
He's twinkling somewhere with his bulgy muscles.
And his sister's so hot.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
This one's a little out there.
We like out there.
What the fuck are my notes?
I present you with 3 images.
Oh yeah.
This is kind of hard to describe.
Just try your best.
Can't find
The
my.
first image is a lizard person.
Okay.
Okay.
Second image is Sigourney Weaver.
Gotcha. Already got
The
it.
last image is Danzig.
totally see it.
Okay, I didn't know where you're
Yeah,
going.
I can't. I'm having a hard time describing this without visual cues.
This one was my
And
my
it
bit.
does it end up looking like Beetlejuice when he turns into the snake?
No, it was a game.
It's a game.
It's a game called
I know.
Danzig, Sigourney Weaver, or Lizard Person.
Oh god.
And like literally, you just keep on feeding out the pictures, and it's like no matter what it is,
It's just Danzig.
it's Danzig.
It's always Danzig.
Show Jake so he gets on the same page. Like call up a picture of a lizard, Sigourney Weaver, and Danzig. And you guys at home do this too. You'll see what the fuck we're talking about. But essentially, it's like ass or elbow.
Good old Danzig.
Oh yeah, he just looks like a lanky
Gets sued
lizard.
just for this.
Lanky lizard man.
Yeah, he would be the one that comes and finds us. He's
Yeah.
just the awful neighbor.
Gets sued
Okay.
just for this.
Okay, so we got Sigourney Weaver.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 with bone.
We got Danzig.
Hold on.
We need
He looks like a Jim Henson character who fucked something on a Tim Burton movie.
Ooh man, that's a gnarly one. And now a lizard person.
Holy fuck. Now look up the
No, just
now
look up a
the
regular
Beetlejuice
lizard.
snake.
Okay.
Beetlejuice snake head.
And then look up Kevin Bacon afterwards.
Did we get there? Oh yeah, this is a good one. The Beetlejuice snake.
He looks like Red Foreman.
Oh, kitty.
You know, I think we just found our degrees of separation here. It literally goes Sigourney Weaver, Danzig, Lizard Person, Kevin Bacon. Or sorry, it goes Sigourney Weaver, Danzig, Lizard Person, Beetlejuice snake, Kevin Bacon. We got there. It's hard to deny.
We did it.
we did it.
We did it, folks.
We did it.
We can shut down the internet. We're good. We did it.
All right.
Ends transmission. Doctor?
Okay, this one. This one
We're
is.
Terrible, terrible people.
Does the gay agenda have a gay Senate?
Beep that.
You can't say gay.
I am the Senate.
It's like the ridiculousness of the gay agenda. I've actually started like pulling that on like anything that's rainbow colored.
Rainbow Six.
I'd just be like, is this the gay agenda? Like somebody was painting their guitar with like a rainbow color. It was like, surely this is the gay agenda.
Jesus.
But it's like expounding on like the ridiculousness of it. It's like there is no gay agenda, obviously, but
Yeah.
could this be the gay agenda? But could you imagine there actually being like the actual
An
gay agenda,
emperor?
and there is a gay emperor, and there is a gay senate, and they make the gay decisions?
To take over?
Yeah,
That's Alex Jones's worst nightmare.
Uh-oh.
Like your mice from Mars.
Oh, God.
Your mice from Mars. Like your mice from Mars.
You said the magic word!
We are the Globalists. We'll fight the gay agenda. Turn the frogs gay.
Oh my god, I've just been waiting for the last 2 episodes to pull that one. That's our Jake, that's our conspiracy theory segment. Anybody got any dank conspiracy theories?
They're all real, so.
Dude, just that the Zuckerborg lizard man memes going along around this week have just been so tasty.
Oh yeah, they're spicy. It's hot stuff.
It's like
It's like fresh sriracha on a fresh soft-boiled egg.
have you seen the
Deviled
new
egg.
Blade Runner?
No. Was it good?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, it
Okay,
was.
don't tell me anything.
You
'cause I haven't
skipped
seen
out.
it.
Yeah, I didn't
fucking
see
asshole.
it. I haven't even seen. I didn't even.
We
see
made plans to go see it, and then you skipped
I didn't
out.
even see the
What
new
day
Death
was it?
Wish movie.
Huh?
When did we make plans?
Like
I guarantee you
when
made
it first
plans.
came out, I got
Doug's
the
a
records.
planner.
I'm not a planner.
I didn't even see the new Death Wish movie. I'm really lacking here.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
I kind of have like. Actually, I went and saw Isle of Dogs this week.
Was that good? The
my
Wes
dad.
Anderson?
Yes, it was not at all what I was expecting.
I heard it was really
Isle
good
of
from like
Dogs.
everything.
It
I've
is
seen.
really good. It is a really good movie. It is not a kid's movie. It is nothing like Fantastic Mr. Fox. Like the style of like
no
the
idea.
stop animation is the same.
I mean,
That's where the similarities stop.
the thing about Fantastic Mr. Fox is it draws. There's definitely the blurred line. It's like a movie where you can take.
Because I don't
Excuse
even
me.
know what the fuck
You
you're
can
talking
take a
about.
child, and they can see the movie, and you can both get two different completely things out of it.
This is one where
It's dark.
you can take a child to go see this movie, but it's a drama at its core. It is not a comedy. It is not like a witty adult. Like it is not an edgy comedy like Toy Story or something like that. You know. It is very masterfully done. It has a very cool narrative, and it was just absolutely nothing like I expected.
Good
it to
date
be.
movie, you think?
It depends on your date.
For a
Like, yeah,
cerebral
you
fan?
and
You and
Britt. Britt likes dogs.
Yeah.
Date,
And I like a little bit deeper and not atypical movie. Because I'm really burnt out on that. It's
What
the
kind of
whole
movie is
Disney.
this?
Isle of Dogs.
I don't
It's a
know.
Wes Anderson.
I don't
Yeah,
even
it's a
know
Wes
what this-
Anderson flick.
But I'm really burnt out on that whole revamp of old things and then just the cramming of Disney. Because I'm just going to lump Disney all together. Disney
Right, they
superheroes,
own everything now, so.
Disney superheroes, the Star Wars stuff. It's just, I'm really burnt out on it because it's very formalic in the way they make their movies, and it dances to the same tune every time. It tires me out.
This bitch is so ugly. Holy fuck.
And I mean, you gotta see that a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like even with like just superhero movies, I am so burnt out on just overdone action sequences.
Man,
I don't want to see a fucking. I don't want to see, you know, cra, 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 cra. I don't want to see those kind of fights where there's like a million jump cuts.
it's
and
obnoxious and stupid.
yeah, the it's like choreography
So done with
in
it.
3D animation that doesn't even have to be choreographed.
Yeah.
It's like I would like you to slow the action down so I can process it.
Or at least double cut it like Jackie Chan films, where they show the. They
He
literally in a
actually-
Jackie Chan film, they literally show the thing twice, and then your mind molds it together.
Not
and
even
makes it
that,
one
like-
smooth sequence.
He also intentionally does a bunch of action sequences where in like a typical American movie, it's like I think the common cited thing is a sequence of Kiefer Sutherland in 24 jumping over a fence. That's all he's doing. He's just going from one side of the fence to the other. There's literally 9 camera cuts just illustrating him going over the fence. Whereas in Jackie Chan movies, they have these like long choreographed scenes where there are no camera cuts. You actually get to see them perform.
he's
But when there
actually-
is a
all
cut
of that
though,
stuff.
And he's
they show
doing
it
the-
twice.
but
They
he's
show it right
doing-
after another. So if he throws somebody into a table, when they change to the next cut, the guy gets thrown into the table again, and then it smooths your visual out.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how
It,
his fight scenes.
It
Yeah.
contextualizes
And
it.
you-
Bro, I
your
love
brain-
but he's doing all those parts too.
Yeah.
He's literally fucking doing
But your
it.
brain processes it as one smooth movement, and the camera,
They
unlike in an
film
American.
that long whole like little chunk of that scene, they film the whole thing straight through from that
Yeah.
one position.
But when they show it in the screen, on screen, your brain
And they kiss the
smooths it all out. Your brain smooths it all out.
Right. And it's also like the stunts are practical, they're clever, they're creative, and you get to see them done in like the physical world. Whereas in like movies, it's just like this, you know, it's fake.
It's absurdity. Yeah.
That's one of the reasons
It's all chopped up.
I really like the end to Doctor Strange. Spoiler alert here.
I have not finished it.
I'm not
I'm not going to
I'm
spoil it like
not gonna
outright.
get all the way through it.
Doctor
I've seen
Strange had like very cool visual effects and did have like these fantastical fight scenes to it.
The one where he gets the cape, that's where, after he got the cape, I kind of like fell asleep when I was watching it, but it was a really cool fight.
You can get on board when I say most Marvel movies lately, it just ends in this fucking battle clash smorgasbord of like fighting and violence at the end of it, where it's just like so over the top CG fight scenes.
To be honest with you, I haven't seen one for a while. I didn't watch Doctor Strange in theaters. I watched it at home for a little bit.
Me too. I
Guardians
watched
of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
I like that one too. I like those two.
They were pretty good, but the
Let me
last
finish
one
this thing about Doctor Strange. Though.
Okay, yeah.
What I liked about the ending of Doctor Strange is that it did not end in this big clash. It ended with him outsmarting like
His opponent.
Yeah.
What a great way to end a film, though.
Yeah. Like like there was no fight. It was like there was this really cool principle about like time and space and how he was manipulating it and how he was using his intellect
And
to
that's
outsmart
that's should be the thing with Doctor Strange is he's an intellectual superhero, and that's a thing that is really lost in these movies. Is a lot of them it's just brute strength. That's why I enjoyed Ant-Man so much. It's like a spy caper. It was about size doesn't matter, brute strength and all this stuff doesn't necessarily matter, and
Paul Rudd don't crack.
Yeah, Paul Rudd don't crack.
Boy,
Love
Paul
that
Rudd's in
movie. But that's a great thing with Doctor Strange is you use your intellect to win. You need to be passing on more than just smash it, beat it up in these movies, because that's how superhero comics were for children. It was each one has a different niche that they fill and a different aspect to them. And I just feel to a point that's lost almost. It's just a big meat grinder of just
now it's just
meaty men.
Now it's just Corporal Tunnel versus the Snoo tribe.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
And I mean, maybe I am wrong, but I don't feel that way. I'm sure there's a fan out there who's got plenty to nitpick on me on that, but I don't feel it's conveyed that way. Especially with like Captain America and stuff. I do enjoy Captain America. He's probably one of my favorite superheroes, but it was just
I just feel ever since The Matrix dropped, like everything started imitating that special effects style. So it just got burnt out to then. By the end of the Matrix trilogy, it was like we have had enough of these fights.
Yeah.
And it's just been like that
Too
a
much.
decade later.
They continued
Still
that
going.
fight style just on and on.
I
might
mean,
not
they
have the
totally
slow
revolutionized
motion.
it.
That's one of the things I really liked about The Force Awakens versus the prequels, is the prequels did all these fucking just crazy feats of acrobatics in the lightsaber fights. They made them into these superhuman beings that you can't even comprehend what's going on.
To give it credit, Last Jedi did have a pretty good lightsaber fight. It was a little hokey.
But
the throne room fight was
the
pretty
Force
good.
Awakens lightsaber fights, they
terrible.
were literally just like
terrible.
you would think of people with bastard swords, like
Swinging them
swinging these things with weight around, like people
Yeah.
would actually swing swords.
And
There
you gotta-
was no, like, they couldn't jump 20
Yeah.
feet into the air
That
like
was-
superhumans.
That was really foreign to me because a lightsaber would weigh nothing.
But I liked it in the sense that it made the fight feel real.
Weighty. It had some weight to it.
Yeah, you could actually comprehend what was going on rather than just this fucking feat of acrobatics and choreography. It brought it back to like the original trilogy films.
Where
the
they're
fights were
actually-
just sword fights.
Yeah.
No, I thought they did a better job actually in Last Jedi with that fight in the throne room with the sword fight.
It's just all the shit that
I mean, the
happened there.
movie was a mess, but
Yeah.
if you want to get my full view on the three, Rogue One was my favorite. It was a caper automatically, like one of my favorite genres. I love a good caper. And then they had the greatest starfighter battle that I've seen in a long time. At the
Oh
end.
yeah, the fucking the aerial battle for Scarif to get into like the the
You know,
shield.
That was so
they even
fucking
pulled
good.
in. They even pulled in. I think
Akbar. Akbar was there, I'm pretty sure.
I thought they,
No, that was
they pulled in clips.
one of his cronies. It was
another Mon
It was
Cal.
another Mon
Oh, I heard
Calamari.
they pulled in clips of like of original footage from some of the original movies of actual
They had
women
characters.
pilots.
They had Gold One,
Women,
Mustache Man.
Was
women,
was,
but even some of those women pilots.
was Red Wing there or
Those
whatever? I
were,
forgot. It's been a long time, guys.
I heard those were cut in from some of the original movies. That
And
It wasn't cut in, but it was based on characters from
And-
the original.
oh, okay.
People may not realize that, but that was
I thought
our
some of
last
the footage
empire.
was-
That was our last empire out of the 3 that they presented us,
Mhm.
especially with how the ending was. That was our last empire. And that's another reason why I liked it so much, because Last Empire was my favorite of the original trilogy. And I thought, I mean, definitely, I do have some gripes about Rogue One, but overall, I did enjoy it. Definitely will not
seen
deny
Rogue
that. And
One.
we sat
I've
literally
seen-
front row.
I know,
sat
'cause
front
we
row,
had to.
And it was a fucking headache inducer.
and
but
we
I
had
still
to
loved
fucking
it.
do that on. We had to do that on fucking Force Awakens
Yeah.
too, because
I think
That
I've
was-
seen-
somebody had to get their pizza.
I think that was the worst part, though, about Last Jedi, is we actually had good seats.
Oh right.
We actually had good
yeah,
seats
we
that
had good
time.
seats and like thoroughly was ready to.
Seriously,
to
the
absorb
pizza, though,
the
I don't
movie.
think would have prevented
Seriously,
us from getting
that was
front row.
the first Star Wars movie I went in. Even the prequels, I sat through those, and at the end of the movie, I didn't feel like, what the fuck did I just watch? You know? Like, I came out of them, the sum of the fun that I had versus the not fun that I had was in the positive. That was the first Star Wars movie where I came out of it was like,
With the prequels, though, okay, in the newer movies,
brutal.
this is not, you guys may not feel this way, but in the newer movies, I could tell George Lucas wasn't a part of it. There's just yeah, I know he gets dumped on a lot, especially online, where it wasn't
where
necessarily
you get most of your opinions from.
where a lot of people can voice their opinions. I'm not saying I'm getting my opinions from there, but a lot of people voice their opinions and you see them. But George Lucas still, even with the prequels, presented them in a manner, because I still enjoyed them as a child. I loved Episode 1 as a kid. I thought it was really cool. But
I can
They
still watch
have a-
those and like them, though.
I didn't like Clone Wars as much, but I loved Episode 3. Clone Wars was kind of a mess.
Episode 3 was like that was probably my favorite out of the
It has one of the worst
prequels.
pieces of dialogue in an entire movie, but they were presented in a way that had this feeling. Star Wars movies had this feeling for me as a kid, and I didn't feel it was captured as much in the newer ones.
I felt like Force Awakens captured it. I felt like Rogue One captured it.
They have a different feel to me.
I feel like to that feeling, Last Jedi was completely tone deaf to that.
I totally agree with that. Last Jedi was the most tone deaf. We walked out of the movie and we had that conversation where it was. We actually literally made those comments about it. It is tone deaf. It's like a tone deaf man trying to make music. But Rogue One had parts to it where I could feel it, but overall it wasn't the same for me. But I still enjoyed Rogue One a lot. Like, there were some cool characters in there.
You know who my favorite character was?
Bogalet! Bogalet will know the truth!
I loved that monk in his Yojimbo. Was that Donnie Yen who plays the force blind, the monk?
Oh yeah, I
don't know.
Personal favorite.
Here to kill. You me come here to kill me.
My personal favorite line out of the movie was when they black bagged the blind guy, and he's like, "Are you kidding me? I'm blind."
I actually liked their shitty Imperial robot who liked talking shit. That guy was pretty good too.
Oh yeah, that's
He was just like the
by,
anti C-3PO.
Tudyk, whatever his first name is. I forget his first name, but he was the pilot on Serenity. That's the actor who played
Jason Tytuck or whatever.
K2SO. Yeah, Jason Tytuck.
Yeah,
He plays
that guy-
Bruce Wayne's brother in a shitty DC spinoff they had on ABC.
Apparently, Anthony Daniels shit all over him because they were talking about the production of the movie, and they're like, Anthony Daniels is like, did they make you wear a suit? And he's like, no, it was all CGI. He's like, you motherfucker, because they still like stuffed Anthony Daniels in a
Into
suit
a
for
suit
C3PO
for the
in the
two
new ones
scenes or whatever.
But he literally Tudyk was just in like pretty much like a leotard and stilts, like those little spring-loaded stilts, so they knew where to like look at his head. At least they did that
Actually,
instead of what.
I like that guy. He's pretty funny too.
Here's a quiz though. Can you name how many characters can you name from Rogue One by name? Can you name any of the main characters' names?
Jen Erso.
Jen Erso, Galen Erso, Commander Krennic, K2SO.
It's okay.
I'm
It's
forgetting.
actually okay because you've done better than like 98% of the people I've ever asked that. Most people
I'm
can't
forgetting the
remember
rebel's
any.
name of what Forrest Whitaker's character's name, because I know his character because he had like a story arc in Rebels and
Starts with the S.
Saul Guerrera.
Yep.
Thank you.
Dude, you're already doing better than like anybody I've ever
Hey, come
asked.
on,
Most
boy.
people can't
Hey,
remember any.
Darth Vader,
I don't count.
Mon Mothma, she's in there.
I'm not counting those ones. I'm
Okay,
counting
yeah,
the characters.
classics, the main characters.
Yeah. But I mean, you already got more than most people. Most people can't name a single one.
I just can't remember.
For
Yeah. Shit, I can't remember half of their names.
Fuck, what was the Mexican guy's name?
And that was my favorite one of the new ones.
I really liked it because he kept his accent as part of like a representation in films. I thought that was like a cool way to do it. He had a really cool character, and he used like the flavor of speaking another language and speaking English, and kept
Did
it
you
in there.
enjoy?
He is fully capable of like doing just like a straight English
Did you
accent
guys
too.
enjoy our stuttering friend in Last Jedi?
Fucking. Apparently, Benicio del Toro turned down the role of Darth Maul.
Oh wow, I bet he regrets that.
Do you know why? Because they cut a bunch of the dialogue. Darth Maul doesn't say shit in like the.
What the
first
fuck
movie.
was he supposed to say?
I don't fucking know. But
I'm a
they-
total
they cut
badass
a
and I
bunch
have
of
horns
the-
on my head.
Don't chew on the mic. Fuck.
Got this naked man over here eating strawberries covered in chocolate.